Blended learning had the greatest impact on my classroom engagement. My students are engaged, busy, and doing quality work the entire time. It has also helped with making sure my students are on task and doing something related to the topic through the use of engaging activities, whether that be enrichment or intervention.
Students are more engaged in their learning, their behavior is little to none, and they are excited about diving into their playlist each day.
Blended learning has brought independence to my classroom. Once my students began using the flexible playlist, and I started discovering different ways to engage my students via the flexible playlist, students began utilizing the videos on their playlist to seek out information. They began having more conversations about what they are learning. They were looking forward to math because they wanted to play with some of the games they had options to play after they completed their work. They voiced how they prefer the flexible playlist over our regular routine. And they just had fun.
Blended learning has really given me back some much needed time.
My instruction is more targeted and I am able to pull more groups for guided reading and guided math without students needing me to tell them what to do next.
In my experience, the greatest impact in implementing blended learning in our classroom has been the increased student engagement in a variety of meaningful activities.
Implementing playlists have really helped with time management in guided reading as well as in guided math.
When students are engaged in learning, their chances of retaining information, understanding topics, and working towards purposeful assignments have grown immensely. As a result, student achievement has increased substantially and allowed disruptive behaviors to diminish.
Because of blended learning, students have been teaming up on assignments and helping each other out more. Our class culture has grown.
My students stay engaged in their playlist activities of their choosing while I have time for small group. My kids love their playlist, and when they don't have it in front of them, they ask for it.
Students are more engaged in what they are learning. I feel that because they are being held responsible for doing the work and learning, that what they are learning is sticking with them more. They are able to apply better to the next lesson or assignment.
It was difficult to let go at first. I have been using a combination of a playlist and a station model. The hands-on opportunities are student-centered in that they are given choice and have opportunities to explore and make mistakes.
We have included additional learning extensions on our playlist to help further our students' understanding. For example, instead of taking up time watching a video to support the lesson as a whole class, the kids will have different videos linked on their playlists that they are able to view on their own.
I've noticed an improvement on their spelling tests and reading assessments. Their math is stronger in addition and subtraction. Their math is stronger in addition and subtraction.
Their exit ticket has made it possible for them to show their learning in the way that best suits their needs. They are given choice and the freedom to express what they can do in a way that meets them where they are.
There are 3 things that needed to be in place for blended learning to be successful. 1, class expectations are the most important. From the beginning of the school, our campus set 3 basic expectations that resonated throughout the school. Be respectful, be responsible, and be safe. These expectations were what allowed my students to be able to move through their playlist and lean on each other for support when they needed it. 2, consistency in routines was key to students knowing what to do and when to do it. As a slight change, they look to each other for support. 3, clear communication on what they had to do. Activities had directions in forms that met the needs of each student. My playlist was easy to follow and laid the foundation for them to pave their own learning pathways.
The instructions needed to be read to them so they could answer their own questions and solve problems independently when I was unavailable or unable to work with them, if I was in a small group, for example. There needed to be a consistent routine so they could work independently and know what to expect each day.
I feel that knowing the curriculum of my grade level really well made planning and designing my playlist easier to compose. I knew what to look for to challenge my students and what I wanted my students to accomplish, what I wanted my students to discover on their own, and much more.
The most important thing was for me to model what would be done in each section before beginning the lesson and having them discuss what this time should look like and what it should not look like, so they knew my expectations coming in.
With purposeful planning, teachers will be able to maximize differentiated instruction to meet the needs of the students. I believe that the opportunity for a one-to-one device in our classroom provided for the smooth implementation of blended learning practices.